Hey everyone, my name is Sania, and this week I will be discussing chapter 7, excuse me, the Waco shooting or the case of the Waco shooting. This story was very interesting to me for this week's reading because it went into depth to talk about how these two biker gangs, well, they were rivals at one point, and then eventually buried the hatchet and became cool again. They both attended an event for both parties, and it turned out terrible. It ended up in a brawl where multiple people were injured, a lot of people were dead, and it just was a lot going on for that whole situation. And it was a hot topic and a crime that took place in Texas at the time. The book went into detail on how the reporters, once they got a hold of that information and were informed that that situation had happened, they wanted to know the names of the victims that passed away, the victims that were injured during that whole process. They wanted to know everything about all that, whether it was by other bikers that had parts that the reason why this took place to the other people that were harmed. They just want to know anything, which is what they're supposed to do. That's your job. That's what is will want to happen because you want to know. But as I was as I did read along with the book, I noticed that the police officers that did know this situation had happened and had this information did not want to disclose any names of the victims or any of the members that were hurt due to this situation because they just didn't want to. It just the reporters, as a reporter, it's your job to know any and everything that is taking place and what's going on in this world. But for them, is you have to know what is going on. So the reporter's boss main thing was, this is your job, you need to figure it out. I need to know the name of these people, we need to know the story so we can air this out and we could get this story pushing because they want to tell the story. The main thing for this reading was, when do you limit when situations so drastic happen? How do you limit that? How do you go about it, being sensitive to the family members when you do find out this information about others that's taking place with death or injuries? I feel like you should be, as a reporter, you want to be, sensitive to these situations because it's out of your control. So the overall message was just basically just, when do you somewhat give these people like some time, give the family some time to, okay, find out this information versus just finding out, posting it, and being like, okay, well, we got this information, we're going to air this out. It's just a sense in just being sensitive to the situation because I don't feel like no one's family should have to go on the internet and see that their family members, their loved ones have either been injured, they've been killed. Like, it's just insensitive. So this week was really a huge thing for me because it's been times where I've witnessed friends being finding out stuff about their family through social media or word of mouth from someone hearing it from so and so, and it's just like, oh my gosh, like, why is this happening? Why am I finding out this information and my family has yet to tell me? So a prime example of that was when Kobe Bryant passed away. His family did not even have any knowledge, no information whatsoever on Kobe and their Kobe dying and their daughter dying along with the other passengers that were on board on that plane at the time. So it was a bit insensitive that the family found out through watching TMZ. So it was just like they weren't able to really get someone genuine to be like, hey, this is what took place, we have some bad news, etc., etc., and you go from there to how you would go about delivering that, and then allow them to grieve. So that's my main thing. What I got from this was just my main thing overall. I always tend to put people's feelings before mine, because I don't want no one to feel they feel any type of way. That's just me. I don't want to be insensitive to nobody's feeling. I want someone to be the same way in return. So I would not be like that towards anyone. So I just want everyone to have the same respect to me, just as I have to them.